Some good dandelions here right there. But what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about what an aesthetic physique is, what it's not, and I have some golden tidbits or tips that you normally don't hear from rarely anyone, actually. So a hard chance you hear it. And there's some golden tidbits that you want to stay tuned for the end, or you can skip to it. I don't really care, whatever you want to do. But yeah, let's get started talking about what an aesthetic physique is. Obviously, these are the trend twins right here, and this is not an aesthetic physique. This is a complete shitty physique. I'm not trying to cuss, but I just did, and it's whatever. But this is not what you want to do. They're just roided out mass monsters without any ratios, and it just doesn't look good. Another example would be Sam Sulik or someone else like that. Like these bodybuilders, even Sebum, not good. The only bodybuilder that I know actually got the ratios right were like way the golden era bodybuilders back in time. I'm talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you know Frank Zane, those types of bodybuilders, they had the perfect ratios. They actually looked good, and bodybuilding was actually good back then. But now it's just gay as hell. I mean, it was gay back then too, but the point is, it's not an aesthetic physique. An aesthetic physique is something like this. I'm pretty sure this is right. I think this is Ryan Reynolds. I don't know what his name is, but yeah, you want to have a shoulder to waist ratio, the golden ratio. I don't know what bullshit is, but basically, you just want to have wider shoulders and like a smaller V taper. I can't really show you right now, but yeah, I'm fat. So, anyways, this is exactly what an aesthetic physique is, and let's get talking about why it matters and why you need it. First of all, the gym and building muscles is the number one thing you can do to increase your looks naturally and skyrocket your confidence. I'm talking about when I was in high school. I was like 230 pounds going into high school freshman year, and bro, I was not, I had barely any friends, and I was a loser. And building muscles, losing weight, first of all, actually helped me a lot tremendously and getting lean. But building muscles after that really increased my looks and how I looked. But let's get talking to what is the most important thing about your looks when it comes to the gym, and it's the frame matters. It's the V taper, it's the down Dorito that you have. Um, and if you guys know what this is from Lookism, PTJ, PTJ. I mean, and it's the most peak model you can read of all time. And I read Solo Leveling before it ever became popular. Just saying. But yeah, this frame matters. You want like a V shape right here. This is Daniel Park, the physique that I'm actually trying to chase. It's very hard. It's per physique, but you want the wide shoulders. You want the slim waist, or as long like some people don't have the genetics for a slim waist, so you want to make the illusion of having that V taper look. And how do we build that V taper look? Well, it's going to be quite simple. We're going to focus on getting to 10% body fat. 10 to 12% is actually the good range. You don't have to get 10%. But for every guy, they need to achieve 12% body fat at least. They want to go, or even lower than that, because that's when you live life on easy mode. And then the aesthetic muscles. You want to prioritize this aesthetic muscles. This guy has a very good physique right here. It's not overly developed. It's not overly crazy. It doesn't look like a bodybuilder. It doesn't look like he's on a shit ton of steroids. It looks achievable. He's just very lean, which is the hard part to get. And I'm trying to get there. It's very hard though. But like the aesthetic muscles that we want to focus on are the neck, upper traps, lateral delts, upper chest, lats, and abs. And I'm going to explain one by one why each of these matter. This is a much longer video, probably other than my other one that I made yesterday. But we're going to focus on these muscles because it really builds our shape and it makes us look very good. Like having a big neck is important, or at least having a neck that is sizable to your physique is important, because if you don't, it looks very uneven and proportions are weird. So here, I'm going to start with the neck first. And this is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure this guy got out of jail because of his looks, so looks messing doesn't matter. Just saying. But if you see in both of these pictures here, sorry, I gotta take a breath, bro. I'm not used to talking this much. Anyways, if you look at the necks here, you see the bigger neck. It just looks like he has a better physique and a bigger frame. Even when he probably doesn't. I think this guy's scrawny as shit. This is Photoshop, I think. One of the two is. Same with here, but yeah, the bigger neck is always going to win over the smaller neck. It was just like a skinny neck nerd who plays on Fortnite every day. That was actually me. But another important part here, like if you can't do it for you, but imagine that like you're not seeing his physique at all, and you're just looking at his neck. And the neck is visible, by the way, almost all times, unless you're wearing a sweater and it's winter or some shit. But look how important this is, bro. Look how much of a bigger neck gives the illusion of actually fitting your physique, because this doesn't fit your physique, right? You just look like a skinny neck nerd. And then the second thing to that is we have traps. Now, people will argue that traps aren't important. Traps are important. It doesn't really matter. The traps really go with your neck. And if you have a bigger trap, you just look genetically better, more gifted, and you just look better. And I would recommend training traps, even though some people say you don't need it. It is very important because from the back you look huge, humongous as well. But in general, from the front, you have these crazy traps, and people can really notice that, and it just aligns with your neck. So it's important to have. The next thing is the delts. Now, if you take one thing from this goddamn video, one thing more important than anything else is your goddamn delts. Please, please, for the love of God, train your delts. It's like an androgenic receptor. The kind of you can spam this shit, bro. I've done 50-pound lateral raises, only for like six seven. I don't know, but I've done literally thousands of reps, drop sets, all the way to failure. Each set going down 5 pounds, 5 pounds. I've smashed training on these muscles. And it is very important. Oh my God, my computer. It is very important that you do this type of training because it quite literally, the delts are the most responsive to muscle growth, right? Or I mean, I guess the least responsive because they take a long time to grow. But once you do grow them and once they start responding to your musculature training, they're going to make you look fucking huge. Okay, they literally give you the V taper. This is what gives you the V taper more than the freaking chin ups, more than the lateral raises. Like I mean, more than pull ups and stuff. Having that wide look, that Dorito look, it's with the delts. Having like wide delts is what literally look makes you look like you're on steroids when you're not. So the next thing would be to grow these things right here, these titties. I don't know if you can see it. I've been trying to work on them, but yeah, my chest has gotten a lot bigger than it was before, and it's because I spam one incline presses. Those are the only things that really matter. If you're consistently going up, I'm doing like 80 pounds on the dumbbell. I do the bench press too, but not as quite as often. I'm trying to get into it and trying to get stronger on it, but it doesn't really matter how strong you are as long as you're progressive overloading. Okay, I talk too much, but the freaking upper chest is what you want to train right here, your pecs. These things matter more than the lower chest, the mid chest. And if you're doing incline presses, you're going to grow these and you're going to look substantially better than anyone who's not prioritizing this or the lower chest or the middle chest because those just grow by itself. Trust me, any other exercise you do, it grows. Okay. And yeah, the lateral raises. These are I wouldn't no. I would say the shoulders are more important, but these are very important getting that V taper as well because it gives you underneath the Dorito shape, right? Shoulders are still more important. I will live to that till I die. But yeah, this is a very important muscle to train, and I know people say do pull-ups for these and stuff, but the number one hack that I found, the one thing that actually trains these more than this is weighted chin-ups. Even if you're not doing weighted chin-ups, doing some sort of chin-up movement, progressively overloading somehow, even if it's adding one rep week by week, you will substantially have that V taper and you'll look better. So yeah, chin-ups are number one for this exercise. Pull-ups add the definition, so I would also do the pull-ups if you can. Yeah. So where are we going next? Oh, yeah. We got abs, okay? Now, let me tell you guys something, bro. Something that pisses me off, bro. We were on abs, right? Yeah, let me tell you something that pisses me off, okay? This shit right here. Abs, they are not made in the goddamn kitchen. They are made with progressive overload, training it like you would train any other muscle. They are made through freaking doing weighted sit-ups on a decline bench, doing leg raises, dragonflies, whatever you want to do. They are made through resistance training. They're made through the stretch, okay? You're not developing abs without that. Look at this motherfucker right here, Eddie Hall. This guy is well over 20, 30% body fat. He's like 300 pounds, okay? But he still has, he might not be 20%, but whatever the fuck he is, he's still a higher body fat percentage, and his abs are still popping out. Why is that? Because he's the world's strongest man, and he trains his abs. And for his core compounds, he needs his abs to work properly. So he trains his abs. And because of that training, you get these developed, block, sexy things. I sound a little bit gay right now. Maybe I am. but you got to train your abs. Otherwise, you're just not getting your abs. Okay. I don't care. Like, yes, body fat percentage matters for your abs, but bro, you need to still train them if you want them. Otherwise, they're just going to look weak and shitty. I really suck at this no cussing thing, but yeah, we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna give you guys some tidbits while we're like way past 10 minutes. Okay, not way past 10 minutes. I actually talk a lot, but I just want to give you guys this phrase because I'm pretty sure social media has popularized this phrase by now that lean is law, and yeah, I agree, but that's not the main fucking focus. Okay, lean is law, but frame is king. Again, that Dorito shape, that V taper, that when you like, bro, let's say I'm like across the street, right? I can see your fucking V taper. It's like the same thing with women with the hourglass. The V taper, I can see the Dorito. I can see your Dorito ass back. I can see your big ass shoulders. That is what matters. So lean is law. Yes, I agree. But frame is king. You need the big frame. You need people to be able to see you from afar and notice your V taper. And then the leanness matters after that. Okay. So again, I said this already, but 10 to 12% body fat is sweet spot for aesthetics. I wouldn't go below 10%. It's just not sustainable, nor do you need to do that. And then the frame and the golden ratio obviously matter more, like I said before. Um, yeah, and this is another tidbit right here. Bulk for the first 2 years. Um, with anything I did with my fitness journey, with all the disappointments that I have from my fitness journey and all the regrets, this is the one thing I never regretted. I think I was skinny fat, around 15, 16% body fat. I was playing soccer at this time. And I bulked 2 years because I was watching First Man, and he made a really good reason on why you should bulk. First of all, if you're, especially if you're a child, you're going to be on your growth development stage. You're still going to be growing, and you can grow in your height, right? And if you're not feeding yourself properly, if you're under eating, if you're not in calorie surplus, your height is going to be massively affected. So this is why I say you must freaking be in a calorie surplus when you're younger. Even if you get fatter, it doesn't matter because you're going to get your height maxing in. You're going to grow much taller, and it's going to be more important than any of this gym bullshit. You want height, some height, right? I'm 6 foot, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I did that. Now, obviously, I'm not crazy tall, but I'm happy with my height, right? So yeah, both first 2 years, and also in First Man's video, or he's called 1M now. I don't know, bullshit. He said a man has to be ugly before they can be considered good looking, and I 100% agree with this, bro. It's just like I'll give you an example. If you're rich, like if you're born rich, having money is not going to change, feel anything, feel satisfactory. You know, it's not going to feel good, right? If you grind your ass off, gain the money, and you become rich, then that's going to feel like a fulfilling life because you actually worked for it, you earned it, rather than just being handed it. Same thing with looking good. Looking ugly, everyone goes through an ugly looking phase. Clavicular, let me think. Clavicular, even Tom Brady, you know, LeBron James. Oh, LeBron's still trapped, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, even Steph Curry, all of these popular guys, they all looked fucking terrible at first. And then they, you know, they got money, they just look smacks. They got better looking. Cristiano Ronaldo, biggest example, man. Chopped as hell, bro. Chopped as hell. Now he's actually good looking. And I mean, he did surgeries, but you know, I might do some too. But yeah, that's important. So you got to bulk first 2 years and training intensely. You got to train intensely in the gym, otherwise there's no fucking point to this shit. And I'm gonna go here and explain. This is me, bro. This was me. I think ninth or 10th grade, and this is me right now, which is not anything crazy. Like I'm still fat. Like I need to get lower my body fat percentage. But you guys see the difference. Focusing on the V taper, having even my waist is naturally bigger, right? But like I still have that look of a V taper because my shoulders are wide, my back is wide. My waist is really hard to go down. But I love handles. But yeah, I look much better now. That's the main point. And we're getting towards the end of the video, but here's some golden tidbits that people either don't know or they typically forget. And it's literally training your forearms, bro. Look at this post. Guys get 1,000 times hotter when they roll up their sleeves. Don't argue. Yeah, don't argue with her or him, whoever posted this. It's just this guy doesn't have the biggest forearms, but you know, it's it helps, bro. Big forearms help. I could have found a better picture actually, but the point is you got to train your forearms, and there's a couple exercises that can do this behind the wrist curls, or finger curls. I don't know what you want to call them, where you just extend your fingers and you pull it, and then your wrist works that way, and it's like a flexion, and you're I forgot the muscle, brachialis or some shit. No, radio brachialis, I think. Anyways, that muscle, your forearm muscle, will actually work, and you'll actually develop it. And it's gonna look better because, bro, forearms, neck, traps. These are the muscles that people see when you're going day to day, right? And these are the muscles that are going to actually matter for your most attractive self. And having big forearms is a factor of that. So get big forearms, bro. Next, now, bro, people may disagree with me on this one, but having a big ass matters, bro. I've been hitting the hip thrust, bro. Not gonna lie, like my butt is going up, man. My butt is like, okay. Anyways, yeah, look at this. It's just having a big butt just signals having a big. Sorry, I'm recording this by myself, right? Having a big butt signals just having strength, and way back when primal days or whatever, people needed bigger butts to basically hunt and stuff, and it was better. The bigger butt you have, the faster you are. That's why athletes, especially like when I was in high school, these athletes had like big ass butts, right? I'm like, damn, a fat ass butt. Like, I'm not trying to be gay, but they got fat butts, right? And it's because they're athletic and they need that butt. They need the butt to sprint, and they need the butt to do things. I'm done talking about butts, but yeah, you need a bigger butt. I'm not going to delve further into this. And then the final thing that I want to talk about here that most people get wrong. The number one biggest fitness mistake I think I made was focusing heavily on my triceps, because I always heard that your triceps is a third of your muscle, you're a third of your arm. If you grow them bigger, they're going to look better. They're going to be okay, all bullshit. Having big triceps is going to make your shit look like a blob. It's going to look flat. It's going to look ugly. It's going to look fucking terrible, okay? Don't fucking get big triceps, okay? Okay, yeah, don't focus on your triceps, okay? I'm not saying don't do triceps. I'm just saying don't overly focus on your triceps and focus on getting it bigger. The one thing that matters more than big triceps is big biceps, and that's more aesthetic, right? The bigger biceps you have, the more you look like a model, bro. Most models don't have crazy triceps. Think, Chico Lukowski doesn't really matter. Think clavicular, right? He has nice biceps and stuff. But the main importance of this topic is having a big ass tricep. It's gonna make your arm look like a fat blob, while having like nice developed biceps. I can't really show you here, but yeah, having like nice developed triceps like this. Mine's not crazy developed, but like, yeah, having like nice and developed, nicely shaped will look much better, and it looks better to have bigger biceps than triceps, because triceps just signal that you're fatter, like you have more fat, and it holds more fat too, so it's just not good for you. And basically that's all I'm here to show you guys. This was a long video, but if you can get past it and you can learn these things, it's going to definitely be beneficial to your fitness journey, because I made a lot of mistakes and I've learned a lot of things with my training and diet. And come on, guys, let's all get going. Let's all do good in our goals this year and whatever we want to achieve. So I'm out of here, boys. See ya.